everybody, what's going on? I'm J. Rod D.
And I'm G.
I'm checking out the Poet Life Podcast.
Hosted by none other than Nuance.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys had a productive week or productive few weeks if we haven't seen you so far.
What's happening, man?
We got a pretty good show planned today. Talking about significance of originality. Hope you guys are interested in that. Of course, because it's going to be an interesting topic.
Yes, man. And woman.
Boy,
girl.
Let's break this down real smooth like, right?
Real smooth like.
Originality, authenticity, being yourself, knowing who you are, significance, importance,
respecting your art.
Respecting
Respecting other people's art.
And
how they display their art. You know, we think that's very, very important.
Okay.
As you navigate yourself through this thing we call the poet life.
So when you think about significance of originality, what comes to mind?
Oh, man. True organic love for what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, nothing is fabricated. Of course, you borrow for a little bit, if you will. First starting out, you borrow a couple styles from people. You borrow that flavor from the people that you like to listen to because you think it's cool. Like, you know, last episode, we was talking about, you know, how you dig what Rakim was doing, and he was smooth and all that jazz. You know, everybody can't be Rakim.
Mm-hmm.
So don't try to be Rakim. You didn't try to be Rakim. You was being J. Rod D.
Right.
But you pulled from the genius that is Rakim.
Okay.
You know? So that's what I think. What you think, brother?
I think it means just like being your own self, being your own person.
Yeah, man.
You're not really trying to, like I said, again, going off what you just say, you're not really trying to be anybody else or build off anybody else's foundation. You pretty much want to establish your own lane, find your own voice.
Because you need that.
And express yourself through that vein.
Of course.
Yeah. I think that's what it's really all about for real. Because at the end of the day, man, they'll remember you for that.
Yeah.
And then people end up, if the impression is, okay, he comes off or she comes off as this poem right here or this person right here, what are you really bringing to the table besides echoing somebody else's voice? Now, we could echo somebody else's message as far as what we agree with. Okay, I agree with that. I bear witness to that. So I'm going to go ahead and sound off again. But how you sound off? Are you going to sound the same way they did? You going to recite their poem for them? Nah, you're going to do it your own way.
Got you.
So again, man, we talk about imitation. We talk about originality. That thin line between the two.
Very thin line.
Yeah, the significance of originality makes for a good poet. I don't want to say great or the greatest. I say it makes for a good poet because you have established yourself, or working on establishing yourself.
Oh,
yeah.
Show.
Yeah.
So, got a question.
Okay.
In the world of Black listeners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can a poet be a voice of reason? I'll ask you two people at home. Oh, and while you're at home, don't forget, follow us on our social medias at The Poet Life.
The Poet Life, one word.
The Poet Life, one word, on all social medias. If you haven't already, do so now. And also, brother, where can they find you at?
You can find me at JRahdi, JRAHDI. That's Instagram. Facebook, just type in Nuance Poetry.
Follow him. He got words. HEGOTWORDZ.
The Z.
Yeah. All social medias. Facebook, we got a Nuance page. Show love. Back to the question.
Let's get it.
In a world of Black listeners, meaning they lack to listen, they don't hear the message. Can a poet be a voice of reason?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so wholeheartedly. Because it's been done before.
Okay.
Think about, for example, Pure Poetry, the most recent one, 6-year anniversary. Shout out to Over the Poet.
Shout out to OTP.
6-year anniversary, relocating to a new venue.
Yeah,
we had a feature by the name of Kariga Bailey, who's part of the band Soul Development.
Right.
Dropped a single called Helicopters on iTunes now.
If y'all
Video,
ain't heard
videos out right now.
Helicopters or seen videos from, oh man.
Yeah,
my brain.
I think the videos are right now, but the single definitely dropped last Friday.
Right. Also, shout out to Just Mike.
Shout out to Just Mike. He was also the double feature. Just one of the features there as well.
He got books and everything already out. He got another one he working on. So please, if you haven't already, check both of those brothers out because they're doing a lot of things, a lot of great, wonderful things for the poetry game, man.
My man, my man Kariga, he was talking like when he presented his poem or his pieces, because he did music. He took a little second to break it down for a second and was speaking to everyone there. So myself and everyone who was included in the venue, he was saying how nowadays poetry has become a place where everybody vents but nobody listens, and I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. Everyone is venting or everyone is speaking, but no one is really listening. It's kind of like a conversation in a sense where you only hear what somebody's saying just to have a response, not necessarily listening and taking in what they're saying.
Right.
Because if honestly, if we were taking in what poets were saying, I think lives would be substantially different. So we asked, can a poet be a voice of reason in a world of lackluster listeners? Yes, because again, it took a poet to say this and is able to shake things up within people as well. Because like I said, when he was speaking, everyone was listening. It wasn't necessarily anybody chiming in. I didn't see anybody on their phone at the time. He drew in everyone's attention. So wow. I think honestly, yeah. So depending on whatever avenue it is, I think that can happen. How would you?
I think when people, and I'm gonna be careful when I say this, when people learn how to respect the art of poetry, meaning that your ears are the most important part of you being in the audience, not looking at the appearance of the poet or, looking around to see who, agrees with the poet, but you as an audience guest can take time to actually listen and use your ears, and for what you hear to allow it to paint a picture for you, to get where the poet is coming from, and try to understand and just enjoy it at the same time. That to me means a lot, because that means that you're taking the time to give me, the poet, your attention, to listen and to just listen and apply, listen to interpret, listen to just think on it, or just for the sheer enjoyment, just like we do music, just like we do movies and television. A lot of people don't speak when they're watching something. We've grown into a generation where we are watchers more than we are listeners.
Okay.
Case in point, when something's going on, World Star. People got their phones out, no one's listening to, what is being said about the situation. No one's listening to the message of the situation, but for whatever's entertaining, they're ready to watch it. So we need poets to be that voice of reason.
I think it takes a certain type of poet, and
okay,
I say that because, for instance, think about like festivals or concerts. Let's say, for instance, like Broccoli City Fest. Now, everyone there may respect the art form of whatever musical genre is on stage, but they may not be listening to every song. They may take a break. They may walk around. They may go to the bathroom. But when their favorite artist comes up, they're there. They're not moving. Yeah. They're not worrying about anything else. They may have their phone out to record to save the memory, save the moment, but they're not going anywhere else. And again, bringing it back to pure poetry, when Kariga was speaking, it was as if, even when Just Mike was speaking, everyone, especially the ladies, were engaged in what he was saying because of his subject matter. And his subject matter drew them in, and the delivery and how he conveyed the message and how he got everybody involved also kept them interested throughout the duration of his time featuring. And the same thing with Kariga. So I think it takes a certain kind of artist to muster up that attention and keep it going and sustain it to the end of the thing. Because again, I didn't see anybody like doing the whole head drop. Maybe a few, but again, I guess it goes to, it is what it is. So.
Right, and then I think that's good for a poet to experience those head drops and, the audiences that may not be attentive to what's being said all the time. Okay. I think a poet needs that to see how strong his pen is at the time, to see how diverse his pen is as well, and to check his performance style. Am I rushing? Is my speech mumbled? Am I taking my time? How is it flowing? how is my diction? How is my voice? How's my projection? You know, how is my eye contact? You know, body language speaks more than words that you speak a lot of times. You know, so if you're slouching and you just, you know, that's why it's hard for me to really get into people who read off their phones, because it's very hard to perform and deliver any spoken word piece or anything that you're reading off your phone when you're looking down at it. Because people need to see that eye contact. People need to see you engage with the crowd, right? So it's good if that poet experienced something like, you know, a head drop.
But does that mean they're a voice of reason? Because they experienced the head drop.
It gives them a chance, I think.
But can that poet be a voice of reason in that moment? Because like I said, I mean, voice of reason, what comes to my mind is, okay, we here, mind detect mind, we here, I'm with you. You know what you're saying? All right, bet. Once the head drop, it's like, okay, you don't got their attention no more.
Right, and I think that's the detail or the substance of your poem.
Okay.
Because a lot of, first point, right? Many poets try to mimic another one, which may hinder their true gift, right? So if a gentleman was to see just Mike perform his piece and see how women were so attentive to what he was saying, that brother will then try to mimic exactly what he's writing. Speaking on like we can talk about the same topic, but how do you deliver it? But if you deliver it and try to just follow suit in the same exact way, people, true ones that enjoy the art, will look at it and say, oh, you sound like
so-and-so.
You sound like so-and-so.
Yeah.
Or like we've been in a situation where we heard word for word, bar for bar, somebody use a fellow poet of ours poem. And we had to sit back like,
is that what I think it is?
That sound a lot like...
Yeah, it sound like, what's his name?
You know, and it's crazy. Because people really do that. They really bite the style and the flavor of the artist. And that's frustrating to me because people are really pouring out their gift, their talent, their heart into what they're portraying on that stage or behind that mic or in front of these people, and then you choose to just steal it word for word. Word? Nah. I think that you have to be original. Like, that's the importance of being original. You can pull from those who came before you or your peers or something like that, but don't mimic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, synthesize it. Like, take it, internalize it. If you're gonna like I said, if you're gonna bear witness to what somebody's saying, or you're gonna agree with what somebody's saying, instead of saying the same way they do, of course, we want to keep the message pure. But again, like, a lot of the topics in poetry is universal. Now, when it comes to biting, you taking somebody's exact style, exact wordplay, exact method, exact delivery, and then trying to say it's your own. Like, nah, man, you just took somebody's whole flow and then put your name on it, and you're hiding your own insecurity and fear of delivering your work on your own 2 feet. You're hiding behind somebody else's style.
And I think that takes a lot of nerve.
Depends on how deep the fear is.
You know, I think that takes a lot of nerve, man, to just be up there word for word, Invictus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Doing Invictus and winning the contest. And
then for somebody to tell you that you was too rhymey.
Now, I spent 3 weeks or 2 weeks working on this, memorizing it.
Right.
My main man come up and Invictus, William Ernest Henley. Mess around, win the cash prize.
William Ernest Henley, you dog.
Hey, come on, man. This guy don't even do poetry no more. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, definitely, man. I think it goes deep into how deep the fear is for somebody to actually stand up there and have the audacity to deliver somebody else's poem and hide behind it as if it's their own. You really have to be insecure, or you have to be worried or nervous or concerned about the outcome, what somebody's going to think. Again, I think it puts you in a position where if you are that kind of person or have been that kind of person, think back to what you were feeling when the thought came to your mind, well, I wonder if I would do this or do what I just wrote yesterday, will it be the same or will the same effect happen? If you ask yourself those questions, it's a lot of introspection that should be done because, again, the line between imitator and originator is very, very, very thin. And I think it's like more of a battle within that makes someone wants to jump from side to side.
So, do you think they are more imitators of poetry or originators?
I'm not sure. I mean,
this society, you got give me one. Give me one of the
I'm
others.
not sure.
I'm gonna put you in the hot spot, bro.
I'm not sure.
I would love to let you slide.
I really don't know because I can't say.
Devil's advocate.
I can't say.
For the shows that we've been to.
For the shows I've been
to,
I
places
don't.
that we've been at. Right, and we've sat in these audiences just as listeners, just to enjoy the art. We've been there, just to study, just to support people, support our peers and everything. You don't feel like, because we've been doing this a long enough time to know the art. We love this. Man, come on. We ain't never locked, you know what I'm saying, looked at each other like, I don't know if this brother really knows or if this is something that's for them. And it's not even a first timer. This is somebody who'll be like, yo, I got this poem for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because this came straight from the heart, and then he hit you with the whoop-diddy scoop. Scoopity poop. Like, what?
Now I don't know, man. I don't know if I can say there's more imitators than originators nowadays. I don't know, because again, I don't know.
I'll say it.
A lot of the styles and flavors that a lot of poets bring. I mean, I know what I've heard, but again, I don't know who everybody listens to make that assessment. Now, if I was in a position where I've heard every poet in the world, and then I listen to you, oh, you sound like so and so from San Francisco.
That's
you know
broad.
what I mean.
I feel what you're saying with that.
So I can't really say I can say I have seen imitators,
and
I know the originators, or I know of the originators. But to say that we have more or less in this day and age, I don't know if I can make that call with 100% certainty.
Cause it's like, all right, how can I put this? Black listeners, mimickers, make it hard for the people to listen, But if we had people who chose to really listen, then they could be able to help point out those who mimic. That because we all hope for one day that poetry can be as big of a platform as movies, like cinema and even music and even fashion.
Wait, so you saying for a fact that there's more imitators than originators? I'm
not saying for a fact. I'm just saying I feel that from the places that we've gone
to... Feeling ain't the fact, brother. Feeling can't answer a question.
Hey, brother.
Feeling can't answer a question, man.
How do you dodge the hot seat?
I didn't. I told you. If I don't know, I won't speak on it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to say I feel like.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that means I don't know.
Did he not dodge the hot seat?
I feel like if you saying you feel like it.
Comment if you think.
You can't make
Brother J. here.
You're not qualified, bro. Like I'm saying, neither one of us are qualified.
You don't have the answers.
I think neither one of us are qualified.
We're not qualified to answer that because
with 100% certainty.
With 100% certainty, yeah. But the feeling.
Got you. Okay, I'm with you.
The feeling of people, the mimickers.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The imitators, like, come on. And you can tell and you can feel it because they're fishing. Like that's a later term. I'm gonna get to that later. But so let's go this way.
Cool, let's do it.
The diverse styles of poetry. Mm-hmm. I got some I wrote down.
Okay.
Let me know how you feel about them. Mm-hmm. Or diverse, not just only styles, but topics.
Right.
Often recycled topics that we may hear from time to time, right?
Okay.
So the diverse style would be people who like to rhyme with their poetry. Mm-hmm. Like every bar, every other bar, they like to rhyme.
Okay.
That's cool. Cool with you. Mm-hmm. It's cool with me, right? A topic is love.
Right.
You got a lot of love poems, Sorry, y'all. Ugh. You got a lot of emotional poems.
Okay.
People use humor to cover up their pain. They speak about something in a humorous way, mm-hmm. Or they'll what's the old girl name? Muffin.
Oh yeah,
the Muffin poem.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for that, brother.
Yeah, I feel bad for Muffin, man.
Yeah, you got that. You have people who choose to write about situations in society.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have those who use music,
Right.
who choose to sing and blend that area or lane,
Mm-hmm.
which is I'm gonna hold my comment for that. What are some diverse styles and topics for you, brother?
Diverse styles and topics.
Yeah.
No mic.
No mic.
Going up there and saying I'm gonna do this with no mic. Which one y'all want to hear? Y'all want to hear the love poem, or y'all want to hear the new poem? The guy that gives the choices.
Yo.
The diverse choice guy, multiple choice guy.
And like
do
disclaimer.
A, B, and C.
Disclaimer.
Show of hands for A. Go ahead.
Disclaimer, right? We are not saying none of like any of these are whack or these are corny.
Yeah.
We just giving opinionated.
Yeah.
And what comes to mind?
Just observation.
Just observation.
Yeah.
So we're not here to hurt anybody's feelings. We just here. What else, brother? I'm sorry.
The Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole.
Oh.
You know, it's a lot of pain. It's a lot of heartfelt pain, and I can dig it.
Gotta do the Mary J.
And lastly, I think I would say this has been an epidemic. The Hotep brothers. The Hotep brothers.
Man.
The super deep, metaphysical, super conscious brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because if cotton was not cotton, then how would we have sheets to clothe our women that they built on their backs? Rack-a-tat,
right.
tic-tac-toe, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Let's go back to the motherland, y'all. Thank you.
Wakanda
forever. Yeah, they got that.
You gotta give me a moment, dog, because that was deep. All right.
That's what I've noticed. Yeah, and I think that style goes over heads. I mean, but then again, I think there's a lane for that. Because, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that really feel that way.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that actually, like, you know, move to that tune or move to the beat of that drum. So,
yes.
Yeah, man, look, man, sometimes you gotta let people get in their own bag, man. I heard Joe Budden say that today. Sometimes you gotta let people get in their bag, man. If you want to be in a Hotep poet bag, hey, man, by all means.
Get in your bag.
Get in your bag, man.
That's
I'm not gonna stop you from getting your bag. You know, for me and my house, though, we're gonna get in this bag right here.
We're gonna be in this bag over here.
You know what I mean?
You know? And we may not choose to dabble in your bag one day. Maybe one day we would choose to dabble in that bag. Because everything in poetry is also educational. You can learn something from any poet, I feel.
Definitely can.
You know? But my point with people who choose to mix singing with their poem.
Okay, that's been hot nowadays.
That's been hot, but I will say this, and I will encourage this because I'm not, you know, I don't have any Grammys. I'm not a world-renowned singer, you know, but I do enjoy music. I like to sing. I would like to think that I can sing a little bit.
Hold a little note or two.
Hold a note or two. Shout out to my sister Lydia for teaching her brother how to sing a little bit. But if you choose, and I feel like if you choose to sing, if you choose to blend your poetry or your art with music and things of that, practice it.
Shimon.
Like really practice, you know, that style. How do you want your voice to sound? Listen to yourself, you know, because if you don't go back and listen, then you wouldn't know how to critique yourself. That's what anything, though. How you deliver any poem or anything that you choose to. So it's like we do the whole. Remember we used to do the intro, the John Legend song.
Yep.
I practiced that joker so many times. I walk around the house like, yo, does this sound good? And then like you have people who, for myself it was Jay, who would keep it honest with me, like, I don't know if that note was like that, or I don't know if you should do that run right there, or if you should do a run at all. Some people need practice because you're delivering your art, you know, and at the end of the day, if there's an audience, there's two sides to it. One is being brave enough to deliver your art if you choose to sing or apply singing and music with that, and then the other side is if you are comfortable enough to do that, and you're confident enough to do that, to make sure that it's for the listeners and the entertainment, so that they're not, hurting.
I definitely applaud those who give and do that.
Because that's very,
takes a lot to go there.
Takes a man to stand and cheer.
And hold some notes. But again, you got to think about it. There's people out there in the audience that really sing.
That really sing. They sing. So they're going to, listen.
They want to listen to whole
life. They're going to listen to that singer's ear.
You have the singer's ear. Pardon me. You have the singer's ear. So when you hear somebody go up there and say what they say, and it's not like a, hold on, play. I mean, you went up there and did your thing, but
and we're not here to judge or nothing, but it's just for the entertainment.
It's observation.
It's just an observation and a perspective. Nobody can tell you how to do you.
Mm-hmm.
But if we give encouragement,
mm-hmm.
Say, hey man, I liked how you did that. I'm a more of a, have you tried? You know what I'm saying? Have you tried this? Or
mm-hmm.
Who do you listen to?
Right.
That's
how you do. Who you listen to?
Who do you listen to? Because that can tell you a lot about who that person is and how they deliver their art.
Yeah.
That's right there. And then even the people who choose to use humor.
Uh-huh.
Are you covering up something? Is there a message with what you're giving? Because you can be people are funny.
Right.
You have people who are both comical and who are just really nice at delivering poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have those who try to be funny and deliver their poem.
Right.
We can crack a joke in between, but it's did it work? Did it land? Or is that us?
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself. The significance of originality, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, the significance of originality. It's important. Brother, shall we go on?
Let's go. Let's do it.
How can I say this? Fishing for applause.
Mm-hmm.
People will get crickets so fast, I feel, when you're fishing for somebody to give you feedback.
How's it look? For somebody to fish for feedback?
It seemed like all the brothers in here don't respect their mothers based on how they treat their women.
Dramatic pause.
But I know that my flow gots to go in your direction because that's my section.
That's your section, huh, brother?
What you talking about? Oh my gosh. So, and this is it's a quotable, and I wrote this because I'm just thinking okay, sometimes trying to be deep can put a crowd to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody know that.
Put it on the shirt, Christoph. Sometimes trying to be deep can put a crowd to sleep.
Everybody know that type of time, man. Erykah Badu said it. What good do your words do if they don't understand you? What's the point of, you got the vocabulary for days, you got the theories and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if nobody can understand what you're saying, man.
What?
I think you're fishing if you end up trying to force the issue.
What?
I mean, but then again, man, that's your bag. But
nah, brother. Sometimes
not good at doing that bag.
It's just you gotta empty that bag and just throw that whole bag away. Throw the whole bag away.
Don't use the old wine skins for new wine.
What your boy James Brown say? Pop's got a brand new bag.
Brand new bag, man.
You need that. You need that bag. Get in your bag.
Again, I think, honestly, man, this stuff goes deep. Originality. What is your own self? A lot of people are led in the wrong direction, believing that there's something else. So when it comes to that, when you get to on the stage, it's just an expression of that. So if you got a person who is reaching for that applause, man, it's more than just the reach, because it goes back to what they're lacking. Again, it goes to the person that's biting.
Right.
They're biting because they feel like they're lacking. And I think the more that fear is, or the more that insecurity is, and even if it's a worry or a subtle little, shift in whatever it may be, it's still a lack of something, and that was calling you to go to another direction. Instead of going back within knowing who you are, finding your originality, and presenting that. But instead, you choose to build off somebody else's foundation, which is always going to be a problem.
Somebody else's rapport.
Because when somebody calls you out for it, then what happens?
Like,
You never see them again. They switch the style up. To be continued. So.
And there's a difference between switching your style up and evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Switching your style up means that you're literally trying different styles to fish for the applause.
Okay.
Evolving means that this is where you once were. It's just like going from crawling to walking to running. You know, you didn't really have the bearings that you have right now.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. I like that. Stay in your lane. Yeah, Brianna. Hey, man. You dope for that. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
You got to hit with the big baller brand voice. Stay in your lane. That's real.
So,
shout out to Bree, man. Phenomenal poet, Brianna Renee. Phenomenal poet, man.
Yo,
Baltimore, stand up.
Yes. Dog.
Stay in your lane, man.
Stay in your lane. and the importance of it, because people may have the question of, well, what's my lane?
Nobody can answer that for you.
That's for you.
That's for you. This is the significance of originality.
That's why it's important for you to mold your art.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? What are you giving to the people?
Mm-hmm. Are
you up there faking it? Are you a different person than who you are on stage?
Mm-hmm.
Are you, Jay?
No. A different person on stage than I am in real life?
In real life?
I'm not yelling in real life. I mean,
we don't walk around like, time melts minds.
Yeah, I don't do that, you know.
Nah.
But nah, it's still the same person though.
If you don't know your lane, get out the game.
It sounds like it was Don. Bishop
Reverend.
Bishop Don, hey.
Well, come on.
If you want to know your lane, get out the game.
She on the road.
She's with a few bars real quick.
She's in her bag.
She's in the bag right now. She's in the bag right now.
Follow her. Brianna underscore
get out the game. That's real though.
That's real.
But a lot of people don't want to do that. The embarrassment or the perceived embarrassment, or again, man, it's that internal battle, man. Originality starts within.
It starts within, and you explore it with this. Okay?
It starts within, you explore with your pen.
You need that.
Everybody got bars today, sheesh.
Everybody got bars because they borrow their bars.
Now it's talking about the pen.
I got you. You're right.
Yeah.
True. But no, it's very, like, you got to realize who you are before you hop on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
Who you are and who you want to be is the same person. It's just evolution in between.
You want to know how you found out who you are? Questions. Ask yourself questions.
Ask yourself questions. Write them down and answer them at the time when you're ready.
You ask a question, you send yourself on a quest. I heard somebody say that. Asking a question, send yourself on a quest. When you find your answer, that's the reward of the quest.
No doubt.
Then you can apply that to, your culture and what you're doing, man.
And your real poem doesn't start until you begin to tell the truth. Tell your truth.
Right. I thought with something today. I was writing a little bit.
Okay. Just a little bit?
Just a little bit, man.
Okay. All right.
And so just because you can explain it, don't make it right.
Say it again.
Just because you can explain it, don't make it right.
But say that for the people in the back, though.
Just because you can explain it, don't make it right.
Did y'all hear that? Oh, all right. I'm just asking.
Doesn't make it true, even though you can communicate it.
Right.
So just because you can explain it doesn't make it right, and just because it doesn't make it true, even though you can communicate it.
Yeah.
Originality
sometimes is inexplicable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what it is.
Right.
And if the people rock with it, they rock with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, then it's up to you, the artist, to figure out if that's what you choose to do,
right,
how can I get people to like my art? It's easy, to look at, a painting or a piece of fashion that everybody's digging and be like, oh, I like that too.
Okay.
I can't read it. It's easy for people just to, Oh, brother, I like this hoodie, man. Where you get that from?
Drink called Five Pillars.
Cool. Dope. Where they got a website?
Yeah,
or
they got a website, man. Yeah. I'll write it down for you.
Thank you. And then you get the same thing. But it's more so like for the person who's making the hoodie, how can I get them to like it? You try it out first. You try it out by, wearing it yourself.
Right.
Because it's yours. This is what you created. So for your poem, for the poets, you try it out for yourself. You at home, working out, man, saying you just writing, doing your thing. You try it in front of a mirror. You try to see how it feels the way you say it. Because sometimes when you write it down, and I know like this used to be me, right? I would write my poems out, and in my head, these poems are fire. And then I would say it out loud, and those poems will be not so fire. I'm not gonna call it trash because that's my stuff. But you gotta really know, like, okay. And that's that confidence of you practicing your craft. Practice. That's the only way you're gonna get better.
So you're saying you overcome fear by experience or experimenting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause it's not always a sink or swim mentality. Learn how to swim. Doggy paddles could turn into breaststrokes.
Right. I think about poet Instagram name is Grade A. I want to say Grade A Love or Grade A Poet, but she's been to Pure a few times. I've seen her the last few times I went to Pure, and she had a poem that was speaking about how every time she got up on the stage and presented her work, it gave her more confidence to keep coming back. And she was expressing things that were happening in her life and her observations and experiences, and she would keep doing that over and over and over again, and people would like keep coming, and it became a place where she was able to express herself. And she started off using her own voice, and again, it takes that confidence to get from writing it out to presenting it. And she presented it with no fear or a little bit of trepidation, but still presented it, and came back to the point where now it's a little easier. Yeah. And I think you start off original, you carry on with the originality, depend on, I don't want to say the effect. So let me go ahead and take it back. You start original, you can continue in originality by experimenting, keep on going out there, keep on trusting what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, man, if you want to be original, you have to trust yourself, you have to trust your art, you have to know that this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm saying, and regardless of whether anybody likes it or not, this is still my opportunity to get some things off my chest, or my opportunity to just try to give my voice a reason to this situation, man, yeah. Whatever it may be, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's still your opportunity to present your work.
So with that, your work is yours.
Right.
You're putting your mind on paper, putting your energy into something that says, this is me. This is me sharing myself with you all through this art realm that we call poetry. I hope you dig it. I hope you like it. I hope you get something from it. If not, listen. This is me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we at with it, man. What you think?
I think it was good. I think
that's good, because I think it's good.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely trying to summarize this and try to package it up for the people, man.
Got to, man. So, the significance of originality, the secret tool as a poet, be yourself. Practice. Be confident. Don't be scared to put yourself out there and try, especially if you're just beginning out, you're just trying to break that barrier of going from a journal poet to hopping on the stage and performing for others. Because I know it can look like a monster, it can be scary.
Right.
You got people looking at you and, like, yo, what's going on? What is he about to say? What is he about to do? Don't let that deter you from your goal of growing through your art, man. I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Well, time to throw dust the trail.
So you got?
That's all I got. What you got?
Okay. So let's do this. You gave a few pointers for those who are trying to find their originality, right?
Yeah.
So let's do a little challenge, and this can be something that you have been working on. Like give us a little bit of something new from you. Give us a little bit, just to show that okay, this is your work, this is your time. So you know what I mean. Original means experiments and experiencing, figuring out your own self. You know what I mean? Right now we have an opportunity to present something new that haven't been presented before, but it's original and it's just, you know, showing and proving everything we talked about so far.
I like that. I like this challenge, brother. And where can I go with it?
Okay.
Meditate on that real quick. You got something already?
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead,
for
because
you.
I'm gonna think on this one. Champ.
Okay.
Bridges, big fella. What's happening, champ?
I'm gonna go off one I already know off the top of my head that hasn't been heard yet.
Okay.
So here we go. You doing this for the gram? Or you going because you inspired? I've seen outliers make more of a difference than insiders, hip riders with deaf ears set on steady confusion. Blind eyes convicted by tunnel vision, abusive. I wonder how we would treat Jesus in this generation of phones. We would look up to see who's speaking if he walked into a classroom. He wouldn't be bashful, I'm sure, but we might be hoes to him. Past tense shows us how passionate quotes killed him, led to his death. Rather, will we misunderstand the spoken word like we misread text? Constantly refreshing our timelines, nearly breaking our necks to see what pops up next. Will his wisdom connect? Will his word be neglected? That's something I'm working on right now, man. Something I haven't memorized.
Ooh.
But that's original, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's not like I'm
original.
writing about your stuff, you know. It's still a workshop piece, but it's still original. And again, it's taking that step out there. Now I'm on camera, and I can easily be like, well, I don't want to go because I'm on camera. But again, it's still showing and proving that to be original, you build that confidence up by your experience, man.
Word.
All right, let's go ahead and do your thing then.
Check your demeanor. A man who fails to plan is quite the deceiver. In a world of wordsmiths whose words ain't worth it, mute your speech. Actions be more admiring. They eliminate folks inquiring your character, and that there can be terrible. Take heed to the being you be, brother. Learn to follow the proper models before you lead another woman on, or burn bridges because you were wrong all along. About time you changed your tune to a different song. Go ahead, try to play government. Try to force that covenant with that woman that's not meant for you to be wife. Talk about living your best life when that just ain't right. Yeah. Something slight that I'm working and molding. But
Okay,
as you can see, this is us. This is originality, man. This is practice. Because we put each other on the spot all the time. We just go bar for bar. Road trip. You want to take a road trip, man? Just flow. You want to take a road trip? Let's go to Waldorf.
Yes, that's a whole nother state right
It's
there.
a whole
man.
nother state. Waldorf.
So, to answer, I don't think you answered the question in the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you think, in the word of lackluster listeners, can a poet be a voice of, or lack listeners, can a poet be a voice of reason?
Oh, I answered. I said yeah.
You said yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I agree
Okay,
with
cool,
you. In due time. But it takes that poet to be bold enough to want to be a voice of reason. It takes you, the poet, to practice your craft so much to say something that gets these people's attention, something so captivating like the truth. To be like, hey man, listen up. All right, congregation, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's needed.
I think at the end of the day, people want to be original. People want to be themselves. But people are easily led in the wrong direction, either by themselves or by somebody else.
Word.
Whether they know it or not.
Word.
So when it comes to someone being original, that captivates attention. That captivates people's five senses for the moment. Everything is focused on that thing. Like I said, when you go to a festival, when your favorite artist comes up, your favorite song comes on, everything stops.
Everything stops.
It don't matter if you've been there all day or all night and you just got there.
Hurt, nothing.
Everything stops. But if it's something you're not interested in, you know, it is what it is.
You will seek other entertainment.
So translating that to our topic, when someone is original, and I've seen it happen, when someone is original, it doesn't matter who is in the building, everything stops. All the attention is focused on that person. Because when you're original, it just exudes. I think it exudes off you, man.
Yeah, man. And people feel that. They feel that energy before you even say something. It's just like he looks, something about him or her feels different.
Yeah.
You know, from that first sentence that you drop, man, when you're original, when you're truly original, people will notice. People will listen. If it's something that, you know, is constantly heard or talked about in the realm of poetry, because that happens often, a lot of those who come to these venues and these events to hear originality and the pureness of the art of poetry might not be interested if you're choosing to speak on something that's easily or like most commonly spoken on already. I think that we owe it to ourselves to try and be as original as we can. As poets, as people, be yourself. You know, it's okay to learn. Chief, what's happening? It's okay to learn, like, different styles, man. To even practice and, like, kind of, like, mold your style based on who the people that you study. Like, some of my favorite artists are the people who I, you know, get my sound from. But I don't want to sound exactly like them, you dig?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not my lane. That's not my bag. My groove is my groove. My terminology is my terminology. And I choose to use phrases like dig, groove, and solid because I respect that era. You know, some people use the term dope still. That's a 90s term.
Right.
We, as people, evolve with the times, man, because if you don't evolve, it's no point. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, so you as the poet have to evolve. You have to be original. So when you step on that stage or when you step in front of that crowd or when somebody asks you, hey, you a poet? Drop something. What are they listening to? Ask yourself that.
Right.
Are they listening to something that they heard on YouTube already? Something that they read? When they hear me, do they hear J. Rod D? Or do they hear G?
I think responsibility of listeners is this.
Yeah, man.
As a listener now, since we already are talking about originality and being original, I think listener, the best way to be an active listener at a certain event, open mic or showcase or whatever, just put your phone away.
Put your phone
for a second. Put your phone away for a second and just really try to hear what the person is saying. And I think we'll get a lot more active listeners and open mics, a lot more lives being changed, a lot more things being affected.
Right. And I also think some audiences fish for the things that they want to hear versus the thing that they need to hear. Just like when we went to the event, a lot of gems were being thrown around by all poets, but I was directed towards the features. You see, and a lot of ladies, yeah, that's what we doing.
Right.
Awesome.
So, definitely, man, if you like what you heard, man, follow us, The Poet Life, all social media outlets, The Poet Life, Instagram, Life. Facebook, etc. J-Rod-D, J-R-A-H-D-I.
Yeah, man. Always and forever will we be Nuance. Follow us on Facebook at Nuance. I got a whole page. My social media, He Got Words, HEGOTWORDZ. Show love, man. Once again, it's the Poet Life Podcast.
Peace.